Hello everyone, my name is theopemptou and I am currently the President of the Environment Committee in Cyprus Parliament. First of all, let me thank you for the opportunity to voice my concerns on climate change, the expected effects for our region of the world, and more important for me, the measures we have to take to prepare our country for what is coming. Climate change is a very important issue for our region of the world, and that is the reason why Cyprus in particular should be talking about climate crisis and not just climate change. In Cyprus, we expect an increase in the average temperatures, longer summers, and many nights with temperatures above 20 degrees, which scientists call tropical nights. Additionally, we already have noticeable increase in the average temperature of water of the surface of the seas, with devastating effects to the planet if this continues to rise. I think one of the best indicators of climate change in Cyprus is the fact that around 30 years ago in the winter, we used to normally have more than a meter of snow in Troodos, and now it's normal to have only a few centimeters for a few days. This, together with rainfall that has been reduced, is an indication of the reason why we now face water issues. We know all this and more for years and are now at a point where either we take measures to help our people survive through all this, or otherwise, by the end of the century, Cypriots will be looking for other places to emigrate. So what are the measures that we should be taking in Cyprus in order to adapt to the current and future climate conditions? First of all, we should address water scarcity, and there are a lot of examples in the world of actions to take apart from the obvious fixing of leaky water pipes and banning water-hungry grass, at least from government property. For a number of years now, we get warnings for megafires and flooding, so we now have to prepare and be ready to face this successfully using mainly preventive measures and ways to react when this happens. For many of us, when the temperature outside is very hot, we turn on the air conditioning unit. But how many of us can really afford to do this? Is the house we live in well insulated and ventilated? You must keep in mind that in Europe, new directives about energy performance of buildings came into effect that are very strict, and in a few years, we are supposed to start building zero-emission buildings that nobody has the practical experience of how these can be built in Cyprus. But it's not only the buildings. We also need to increase the number of green spaces in our cities in order to reduce the heat island effect, to introduce usable and practical public transport, provide for safe cycling routes, and promote walking. There are so many actions to focus on, like waste management, coastal protection, ecosystem restoration, but before my time runs out, I want to focus on what you, as NGOs, and your role is in all this. NGOs are the ones that have constantly fought for environmental protection and societal changes that benefit communities. The fight is far from over, as NGOs are the only ones that push and support positive changes. They use their expertise and advocate for ambitious climate policies, support the formulation of legislation and the implementation of policy measures. They can drive public awareness and mobilize local communities to participate in climate adaptation and mitigation activities. There are so many NGOs that lead or support on-the-ground projects, from ecosystem restoration to water conservation, and quite often piloting innovative solutions that can be scaled up regionally. I have been fighting for the environment for many years now, and one advice I want to give you is just to remember that you can't win them all, but never give up. You are fighting for the common good. You are on the right side of history. You should never give up. Keep up with the great work that you are doing now, as you are our only hope. Thanks again for this opportunity.